Welcome to Learning with UNP. In this session of Business Intelligence with Power BI, we are going to learn how to correctly set data types using the Using Locale option in Power BI Query Editor. We will be working with the Maven Market Customers CSV file. Let's begin by opening Power BI Desktop. Once it's open like this, click on Transform Data in the Home ribbon, which will take us into the Power BI Query Editor. To import the data, click on New Source option in the Home ribbon, click on Text or CSV, and browse for the Maven Market Customers CSV file. Once we load the data, we are ready to begin. Click on OK. When the data is loaded into the Power BI Query Editor, the tool uses its built-in intelligence to automatically detect the data types for each column. However, as users, it's important for us to verify if Power BI has correctly detected these data types or not. If they are incorrect, we need to change them. Let's go through this process step by step. First, let's examine the customer ID column. Look at the values in this column. Since the values are integers, whole numbers like 1, 2, 3, the correct data type should be whole number. In this case, Power BI has correctly identified the data type as whole number. So we don't need to make any changes. The first column is done. Now let's look at the second column, that is customer account number column. Again observe the data. Since it consists of numeric values without decimals, this should also be whole number. Power BI has already set the correct data type for this column, so we can move on to the next columns. Now, let's move on to the columns that contain text data, starting with first name, last name, customer city, customer state province, and customer country. Each of these columns contains text, meaning letters or words. Power BI has identified them as text, which is correct. You can see the ABC symbol indicating that it is a text data type. So, no changes are needed in these columns, which are in the first name, last name, customer city, customer state province, and customer country columns. Let's now look at the customer address column specifically. This column contains a mix of text and numbers, such as street numbers combined with street names. Even though it is a mix, this is considered as text data type because the combination of alphabets and numbers forms an address. Power BI has correctly identified this as text ABC, so it's good to go. Along with these, we also have other columns with the text data type. These include marital status, gender, education, member card, occupation, and homeowner. All of these columns contain textual information like words or letters. So Power BI has correctly identified them as text ABC. So no changes are required here as well. Now, moving on to the yearly income column. In this case, the column contains dollar symbol, the letter K indicating thousands, hyphens, and numbers. While it may seem complex, it is still considered textual information because of the combination of symbols and characters. Therefore, Power BI has set this column as text ABC, which is appropriate. So, no changes are required here. Moving on to the date columns, we have two date columns which are birth date and account open date. At first glance, let's examine birth date column. This column should be date, but if you notice, Power BI has identified this column as text. But why? This happens because the format of the dates in this dataset is month, day, and year, which is not the default format of our region, that is India. Here, we typically use day, month, and year. To fix this, we will need to manually set the data type to date using the locale option. Select the date column, choose using locale. In the dialog box, select date as the data type. And for the locale or region, we will choose English United States since the format aligns with the US region. Once we apply this, Power BI will correctly interpret the data as date, as you can see here. Now we will fix the account open date column in the same way. Click on Change Type, select using locale. In the dialog box, select date as the data type and we will choose English United States since the format aligns with the US region. Again, once we apply this, Power BI will correctly interpret the data as date as it is shown here. Finally, let's look at the customer postal code column. total children column, and number of children at home columns. These columns contain numeric values that represents counts or whole numbers. Power BI has correctly identified them as whole number, which is correct. So no further changes are necessary here. That's how we symmetrically review and ensure the correct data types for each column in our dataset. By using locale when necessary, we can handle regional differences in the data formats like dates, and by verifying each column, we make sure that the data types align with the actual data. Once we have verified and adjusted all the columns, click on Close and Apply to save your changes and update the dataset. This ensures that your data is correctly processed for further analysis. This is all about today's lecture. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.